The stars stretched out before us, a glimmering tapestry of infinite possibility. As the pilot of the experimental deep space reconnaissance craft, I couldn't help but feel a potent mixture of awe and unease. Our mission was to push the boundaries of human exploration, to boldly go where no one had gone before. But something about the vast, untamed cosmos filled me with a nagging sense of trepidation. Picking up a distress signal, "Captain," my co-pilot Mei Chen announced, her voice calm and measured. "It's not a human transmission." I tensed, my hands instinctively tightening around the control yoke. "Alien." Mei nodded, her brow furrowing in concentration as she analyzed the data. "Based on the signal signature, it appears to be coming from a craft of unknown origin, detecting signs of severe damage." I considered our options for a long moment. We could ignore the signal and continue on our mission, returning home with our findings intact. Or we could investigate, potentially making first contact with an extraterrestrial civilization, an event that would forever alter the course of human history. The weight of the decision hung heavy on my shoulders. "Distance?" I asked, steeling my resolve. "Approximately 2 light-years from our current position," Mei replied. 2 light-years, a mere stone's throw in the vastness of space, yet still an immense distance for our reconnaissance craft. But if there were beings out there in need of aid, could I in good conscience turn a blind eye? "Helm, set a course for the distress signal," I ordered, my voice steadying with conviction. "All hands to battle stations. We don't know what we're about to encounter out there." The engines roared to life, propelling our small craft through the inky blackness of space. As we closed in on the coordinates, a massive, gleaming ship came into view, its angular, alien design unlike anything humanity had ever conceived. Damaged and adrift, it was a stark, sobering reminder of the precariousness of our expedition. "Sir, the alien vessel's power signature is fading," Mei reported, her voice tinged with a hint of concern. "They're losing life support. If we don't intervene, they won't survive much longer." I stared at the wounded craft, my mind racing. This was our chance to make first contact, to open a new chapter in human history. But at what cost? Could we trust these aliens? Were they friend or foe? The fate of our species hung in the balance. "Helm, bring us in for a closer look," I ordered, my decision made. "Mei, prepare a boarding party. We're going to see what we can do to assist." As the sleek reconnaissance craft maneuvered alongside the alien vessel, I felt a surge of adrenaline coursing through my veins. For better or worse, humanity was about to come face to face with the unknown, and whatever the outcome, I knew our world would never be the same. The boarding party, clad in specialized hazard suits, moved with an almost ceremonial precision as they secured the airlock and made their way into the alien craft. I watched anxiously from the command deck, every nerve ending on edge. What would we find inside? Would the aliens be hostile? Or would they welcome us as allies in the vast, unforgiving expanse of space? Mei's voice crackled over the comm, her words tinged with a mixture of wonder and trepidation. "Captain, the interior is unlike anything we've ever seen. The technology is advanced, to say the least. We're still assessing the situation, but the occupants appear to be in critical condition." I felt a knot of tension in my gut. "Can you stabilize them?" There was a brief pause. "We're going to try, but I make no promises. Their physiology is completely foreign to us." I clenched my jaw, silently willing the boarding party to succeed. Time seemed to crawl as I awaited their report, my mind racing with 1,000 possible scenarios. Would the aliens lash out in desperation? Or would they see us as saviors, their last hope for survival? Finally, Mei's voice crackled to life once more. "Captain, we've managed to stabilize the aliens. They appear to be sentient, bipedal creatures with the unusual respiratory system. We're attempting to communicate, but the language barrier is proving challenging." I exhaled a breath I hadn't realized I'd been holding. "Keep me posted. Let me know the moment you learn anything significant." "Understood, sir." As the minutes ticked by, I paced the command deck, my mind whirling with possibilities. Were these aliens friend or foe? What was the nature of their mission? And most importantly, could we trust them? The answer came sooner than I expected. May's voice, laced with a mixture of excitement and trepidation, suddenly filled the calm. "Captain, the aliens are awake and coherent. They seem eager to communicate. I'm sending the translation data now." I hurried to the main console, my eyes scanning the translated text. The alien's message was simple, yet chilling. "We are the Volturi. Our vessel has been attacked and disabled by an unknown enemy force. We are stranded and in dire need of assistance. Please, you must help us." I felt a chill run down my spine. Attacked by an unknown enemy. That could only mean one thing: there were other advanced civilizations out there, and they were at war. The implications were staggering. "May, what's the status of their vessel? Can we get it operational again?" "We're still assessing the damage, but it appears to be significant. Their power systems are compromised, and a number of critical systems are offline. It will take time and resources to make the necessary repairs." I mulled over the information, weighing our options. We could attempt to restore the alien craft, potentially unlocking a wealth of advanced technology in the process. Or we could simply evacuate the Volturi and hightail it back to Earth, reporting our findings to the authorities. The decision weighed heavily on me. If we helped the Volturi, we could be drawn into an interstellar conflict that humanity was woefully unprepared for. But if we abandoned them, we would be condemning an entire species to certain death. "May, keep working on the repairs. I want that ship spaceworthy as soon as possible." "Understood, Captain. But, are you sure about this? The risks are—" "I'm aware of the risks, Lieutenant," I interrupted, my voice firm. "But we can't just leave them to die. Not when we have the means to help." May hesitated for a moment, then nodded. Aye, sir." As the boarding party set to work, I turned my attention to the Volturi, who had been observing our efforts with a mixture of gratitude and apprehension. I approached them cautiously, my hands raised in a gesture of peace. "I am Captain John Hawk, of the United Earth Reconnaissance Corps. We have come to offer you aid." The Volturi's leader, a tall, slender being with iridescent scales and piercing eyes, stepped forward. "We are deeply grateful for your assistance, Captain Hawk. I am Alarin, commander of the Volturi cruiser Endurance. Our vessel was attacked without warning by an unknown enemy force. We were left crippled and adrift, our crew gravely injured. If not for your timely intervention, we would have surely perished." I nodded solemnly. "Can you tell us anything about your attackers? What kind of enemy force was able to disable a ship of your size and technological sophistication?" Alarin's expression darkened. "I'm afraid I cannot divulge many details, as our knowledge of our attackers is limited. What I can say is that they are a highly advanced civilization, with capabilities that far surpass our own. They struck without warning, overwhelming our defenses with ease." I felt a knot of dread forming in the pit of my stomach. "And you have no idea why they targeted you?" Alarin shook his head. "No, Captain. We were on a routine exploratory mission, far from the borders of our empire. This attack came as a complete surprise." I mulled over the implications, my mind racing. If there were other advanced civilizations out there, capable of easily overpowering the Volturi, then humanity was woefully unprepared for what was to come. We had to learn as much as we could, and quickly. "Alarin, I give you my word that we will do everything in our power to restore your vessel and assist you in any way we can. In return, I ask that you share with us all that you know about your attackers, as well as the broader galactic landscape. The survival of my species may depend on it." The Volturi commander regarded me with a contemplative gaze. "Captain Hawk, you and your crew have already demonstrated a level of compassion and courage that is refreshing. Very well, I shall share what I can. But I must warn you, the knowledge I impart may change the course of your civilization forever." I steeled myself, knowing that the decisions I made in the coming hours would reverberate throughout human history. "I understand the gravity of the situation, Alarin. Please, tell me everything." And so, over the course of the next several hours, the Volturi commander revealed the stark realities of the larger galactic community, a community that humanity had been blissfully unaware of until now. Alarin spoke of a vast, fragile peace that had held for millennia, maintained by a precarious balance of power between a handful of advanced civilizations. But that peace, it seemed, was now on the verge of collapse. The Varoks, Alarin explained, his voice laced with a mixture of fear and anger, are an aggressive, expansionist race driven by a thirst for domination. They have spent centuries consolidating their power, subjugating any civilization that stands in their way. And now, it seems, they have set their sights on our humble empire. I felt a chill run down my spine. How were they able to so easily disable your vessel? Alarin's expression darkened. The Varoks possess technology far beyond our own. Their ships are faster, their weapons more powerful, and their defenses nearly impenetrable. We were simply outmatched. I nodded, my mind racing with the implications. If these Varoks were capable of so thoroughly outclassing the Volturi, a civilization that had clearly mastered interstellar travel and advanced weaponry, then what chance did humanity stand? And you have no way to counter their advances? I asked, a glimmer of hope in my voice. Alarin shook his head solemnly. Not as we are now. Our only hope is to retreat, to regroup and fortify our defenses. But even then, the Varoks will not be easily deterred. They are relentless in their pursuit of conquest. I turned away, my thoughts consumed by the gravity of the situation. The fate of my species now hung in the balance, dependent on the decisions I made in the coming hours. Could we help the Volturi turn the tide against their oppressors? Or were we doomed to be swept away in the tides of an interstellar war? One thing was certain: the world I knew would never be the same. Humanity's first foray into the galactic stage had arrived, and the stakes had never been higher. Captain, the Varoks vessels are powering up their main weapons, May reported, her voice betraying a hint of the strain she felt. They're targeting us. I took a deep, steadying breath. All ships, prepare to engage. Target their command vessel. We need to cripple their leadership if we have any hope of survival. The bridge erupted in a flurry of activity as the crew carried out my orders. Alarin, the Volturi commander, stood at my side, his eyes narrowed with grim determination. Captain Hawk, your people have shown remarkable courage in the face of such overwhelming odds, he said, his voice low and measured. If we are to have any chance of prevailing, we must coordinate our efforts seamlessly. I nodded, turning to face him. Alarin, I won't lie, the odds are stacked against us. But we've come too far to back down now. Earth is counting on us. The Volturi commander's expression darkened. Then let us show these Varoks the true power of our combined might. With a flick of his wrist, Alarin transmitted the battle plan to the rest of our makeshift fleet. Moments later, the void of space erupted in a cacophony of weapons fire as our ships surged forward, their alien-derived systems unleashing a barrage of devastating plasma bursts and electromagnetic pulses. The Varoks command vessel, a hulking behemoth that dwarfed our own craft, shuddered under the onslaught, its shields flickering and failing. I gritted my teeth, urging our ships to press the attack. Keep the pressure on. Don't let up until that ship is crippled. May's fingers danced across her console, her eyes narrowed in concentration. Captain, the Varoks are rallying their flanking forces. We're being targeted from multiple angles. I cursed under my breath, my mind racing. All ships, break formation and provide support wherever it's needed. Evasive maneuvers, now. Our fleet scattered, weaving and dodging the Varoks' withering barrage. But even with the advanced alien technology at our disposal, the sheer firepower and coordination of the enemy was overwhelming. One by one, our ships succumbed to the onslaught, their hulls breached and their systems failing. I watched in anguish as the crew of the Endurance fought valiantly, their vessel taking heavy damage but still pressing the attack. Alarin's voice crackled over the comm, his words laced with a mixture of determination and resignation. Captain Hawk, we cannot hold out much longer. If you have any other plans, now would be the time to act. I clenched my jaw, my mind racing. We were running out of options, our forces dwindling in the face of the Varrock's onslaught. But to admit defeat would mean the end of humanity as we knew it. May, is there any way we can amplify the power of the alien weapons systems? I asked, a glimmer of hope in my voice. My co-pilot's brow furrowed in concentration. I may be able to reconfigure the power conduits to channel more energy into the main cannons. But it would be risky. We could overload the systems and lose all power if I'm not precise. Do it, I said, my voice firm. We're running out of time. If we don't stop that command ship now, we're all dead. May nodded grimly and set to work, her fingers flying across the console. Moments later, the main guns of our flagship roared to life, their energy output surging to unprecedented levels. Captain, weapons are primed and ready, May announced. But we've only got one shot at this. If we miss... I didn't need her to finish the thought. Then may God have mercy on our souls. All ships, concentrate your fire on the Varrock's command vessel. This is our last stand. The fleet redoubled its assault, the air crackling with the energy of our weapons. The Varrock's command ship shuddered under the barrage, its shields faltering and its hull beginning to buckle. We've breached their main reactor, May cried. Just a little more. Come on, come on. Time seemed to slow to a crawl as the flagship's main guns unleashed their ultimate payload. A brilliant, searing beam of pure energy lanced out, carving through the Varrock's vessel's weakened defenses and tearing into its core. For a heartbeat, the bridge was bathed in an otherworldly glow. Then the command ship exploded in a blinding flash of light, its shattered remnants tumbling through the void. A cheer went up from the surviving crew, but it was quickly tempered by the grim reality of our situation. Our fleet had taken heavy losses, and the Varrock's were far from defeated. Captain, sensors are detecting multiple smaller Varrock's vessels breaking off from the main force, May reported, her voice taut with concern. They're heading towards Earth. I felt my blood run cold. The attack we had just weathered was merely the vanguard. The true Varrock's invasion force was still on its way, and our home was its ultimate target. All remaining ships, prepare to jump to FTL, I ordered, my mind racing. We need to get back to Earth and warn the authorities. May, I want you to send a priority transmission the moment we drop out of warp. We have to give them every scrap of intel we've gathered, or humanity is finished. The crew sprang into action, the bridge a flurry of activity as they plotted our course and readied the engines. Alarin stepped up beside me, his expression grim. Captain Hawk, I fear our victory here has been a hollow one. The Varrock's will not be deterred. They will pursue us, and they will lay waste to your homeworld if we do not find a way to stop them. I nodded, the weight of the responsibility crushing me. I know, Alarin. That's why we have to get back to Earth and prepare for the fight of our lives. This may be humanity's last stand. The Volturi commander placed a reassuring hand on my shoulder. Then let us ensure that your species goes down swinging. I will lend you and your crew my every resource, Captain. We will face this challenge together. I mustered a weary nod, then turned to the helm. Engage the FTL drives. Maximum burn. We've got a planet to save. As the stars blurred into streaks of light, I felt a pang of guilt and fear. The losses we had sustained were staggering, and I couldn't help but question whether I had the strength to lead my crew through the trials to come. But I knew there was no turning back. The fate of our entire species hung in the balance. We had won a battle, but the war was far from over. The Varrock's were coming, and they would show no mercy. Earth's survival and our own depended on our ability to stand firm against the coming onslaught. May's hand brushed against mine, and I turned to see a glimmer of determined resolve in her eyes. In that moment, I knew that I was not alone. My crew, my friends, were with me until the bitter end, and together we would fight to the last to ensure that humanity's light would never be extinguished. The journey ahead would be arduous, the challenges insurmountable, but we had come too far to back down now. the time had come to make our final stand. The atmosphere in the war room was tense, charged with an undercurrent of both hope and trepidation. As the crew of the experimental reconnaissance craft, we had returned to Earth bearing news that would forever alter the course of human history. We had made contact with an advanced alien civilization, and we were now facing the threat of an imminent invasion. Yet, in the wake of our harrowing experiences, there was a newfound determination that had taken root within the hearts of our species. No longer were we content to be mere observers, cowering in the face of technological superiority. We had tasted the power of the alien technology, had witnessed its potential to tip the scales of battle, and now we were ready to wield it as a shield to protect our homeworld. I stood before the assembled representatives of Earth's governments, my gaze sweeping across the faces of those who would determine the fate of our planet. Gentlemen, ladies, the time has come for humanity to take its place among the stars. We can no longer afford to remain isolated, unaware of the dangers that lurk beyond our borders. May, my steadfast co-pilot and closest confidante, stepped forward, her eyes alight with a fierce determination. The Varoks, as they call themselves, are a formidable foe. Their technology outstrips our own by orders of magnitude, and their ambitions know no bounds. But we have seen firsthand that their superiority is not absolute. With the knowledge and resources we have acquired, we can level the playing field. Murmurs rippled through the assembled officials, a tangible sense of hope and trepidation mingling in the air. I raised my hand, commanding their attention once more. We are asking you to trust us, to allow us to lead the charge against this alien menace. Our crew has been forged in the crucible of battle, and we have learned the secrets of Varrock's technology. We can train new pilots, engineers, and strategists to harness these powerful tools in defense of our home. The minutes that followed were charged with tension as the governments debated, weighed the risks and rewards, and eventually reached a consensus. With a resolute nod, the Prime Minister of the United Earth Alliance stepped forward. Captain Hawk, Lieutenant Chen, your accomplishments have earned you the respect and trust of our people. We will grant you the resources and authority you need to spearhead the defense of our planet. The future of humanity rests in your hands. Relief and a renewed sense of purpose flooded through me. We had been entrusted with the most crucial mission in human history, and I knew that failure was not an option. Thank you, Madam Prime Minister. I can assure you, we will not let you down. Humanity will rise to meet this challenge, and we will emerge victorious. The weeks that followed were a whirlwind of activity as May and I coordinated the global effort to prepare for the Varroks' return. Our crew was tasked with training the next generation of pilots, engineers, and strategists, instilling in them the skills and knowledge we had gained through our harrowing experiences. May, in particular, worked tirelessly, immersing herself in the alien technology, seeking ways to not only replicate its capabilities, but to surpass them. I marveled at her tenacity, her unwavering determination to ensure that humanity would never again be caught unprepared. We need to find a way to neutralize their advantages, she told me one evening, her eyes alight with the fire of innovation. Their shields, their weapons, their propulsion systems, we have to find a way to disrupt them, to render them vulnerable. I nodded, clasping her shoulder. I trust you, May. If anyone can do it, it's you. And so, she toiled on, pushing the boundaries of human ingenuity, while I oversaw the training of our growing armada. Recruits from across the globe flocked to our cause, eager to defend their homeworld, and I watched with a mix of pride and trepidation as they honed their skills, mastering the alien technology that would be their shield and their sword. The day of reckoning finally arrived, marked by the sudden appearance of the Varroks invasion force on the edge of our solar system. The news spread like wildfire, igniting a surge of both fear and determination within the hearts of the Earth's populace. All ships, prepare for battle, I commanded, my voice steady and resolute. This is our moment, for Earth and for humanity. The skies above our planet erupted in a dazzling display of light and fury as our fleet engaged the Varroks armada. The alien vessels, sleek and imposing, met our onslaught with a barrage of devastating firepower. their shields shimmering under the strain. But this time, we were ready. May's innovations had borne fruit, and our ships were equipped with specialized countermeasures that disrupted the Varox's technological superiority. Plasma bursts and electromagnetic pulses tore through their defenses, leaving them vulnerable to our own advanced weapons. I watched, my heart pounding, as our forces surged forward, their resolve unshakable. This was no longer a fight for mere survival, it was a battle for the very soul of our species, a declaration that we would no longer be content to cower in the shadow of an alien civilization. "Target their command ship," I barked, my eyes narrowing. "If we can cripple their leadership, the rest of the fleet will falter." May's fingers danced across her console, her brow furrowed in concentration. Locking on, weapons primed and ready. In a blinding flash of light, our flagship's main guns unleashed a devastating salvo, carving through the Varrock's command vessel's shields and tearing into its core. The mighty craft shuddered and groaned, its systems failing, until finally it erupted in a brilliant explosion that sent shockwaves rippling through the battle. The Varrock's forces, suddenly bereft of their leadership, descended into disarray. Our ships seized the opportunity, pressing the attack with renewed vigor. One by one, the alien vessels fell, their hulls breached and their crews vanquished. As the final Varrock ship retreated, the skies above Earth fell silent, save for the cheers and jubilant cries of our victorious forces. I sagged back into my chair, letting out a long, shaky breath. "We did it," I murmured, a mixture of relief and disbelief in my voice. "Humanity has won." May's hand found mine, her grip firm and reassuring. "But this is only the beginning, John. The Varrocks will return, and we must be ready." I nodded, my gaze sweeping across the bridge, taking in the faces of my battered but triumphant crew. "Then we'll be ready. We've tasted the power of the stars, and we will not be cowed by their might again. Humanity is rising, and we will forge our own destiny among the cosmos." In the days that followed, our victory was celebrated across the globe, hailed as a triumph of human ingenuity and determination. But as the euphoria began to fade, the weight of the challenges that lay ahead became increasingly apparent. May and I found ourselves embroiled in a web of political maneuvering, as various factions jockeyed for control of the alien technology and the resources required to build our defenses. It was a delicate balancing act, one that tested the limits of our patience and our diplomatic skills. "We can't let them squander this opportunity," May said, her brow furrowed in frustration. "The Varrocks will return, and we need to be ready. United, we stand a chance. Divided, we'll be crushed." I nodded, my jaw set with determination. "Then we'll have to find a way to unite them, May. For the sake of our species, we cannot afford to falter now." And so, we pressed on, navigating the treacherous waters of global politics, forging alliances and brokering compromises, all the while overseeing the expansion and modernization of Earth's defenses. It was an arduous, draining endeavor, but we knew that the stakes could not be higher. As the months turned to years, we watched with a mixture of pride and trepidation as humanity's presence in the cosmos grew. Our ships, powered by alien technology, ventured farther and farther into the void, establishing outposts and forging connections with other civilizations. Yet, the specter of the Varrocks loomed ever-present, a constant reminder that our struggle for independence was far from over. We knew that they would return, and when they did, we had to be ready. In the quiet moments, when the weight of our responsibility seemed to threaten to crush us, May and I would find solace in the knowledge that we were no longer alone. We were part of something greater, a species that had risen to meet the challenges of the stars, no longer content to be mere observers. And as we gazed out at the endless expanse of the cosmos, we knew that the future that awaited us was one of limitless possibility. The path ahead would be fraught with danger and uncertainty, but we were prepared to face it, united in our determination to ensure that humanity's light would never be extinguished. For we were the architects of a new era, the pioneers who had dared to step beyond the confines of our world and claim our rightful place among the stars. And whatever the future held, we would meet it head-on, our resolve unshakable, our spirits unconquerable. This was our moment, our time to rise. And rise we would, forging a destiny that would echo through the ages, a testament to the indomitable spirit of our kind.